Hey you guys, and welcome to Disclosure 101, a project wherein we look into the depths of the UFO phenomena, the UAP, the UFO, whatever you like to call it. The bottom line being, there are things out there in the night sky that you and I are not really well in the know-how of how things work. How is it possible for some of these things to even begin to exist? And how likely is it that they're actually aliens in comparison to, well, deep stored military secrets or, well, private ventures that do not want their technology to be garnered by military hands? Well, there are a lot of possibilities. The speculations are left, right, and center, as we all are very much aware of the fact. But let's take a deep dive into the realm of Reddit and start figuring things out. Now, for the first video that we're going to be talking about today is a very clear discrepancy between what we might see in the night sky. A lot of people say a lot of things, but when you look at something like this, it's very hard to debate what you're looking at. All right, let's hit this from the start, from the get-go. Now, here we go. Now when you look up in the night sky, that's what you look at first. Those are birds. That's pretty normal. That's pretty okay to witness. Those are satellites. They move rather slow, which is rather alright. You can understand what they are in the night sky. Then there's a plane. A plane flies by. Super easy to figure it out. What is that? What in the world can just go like that, slow down, change directions, slow down again, change directions another way, and then keep on moving so seamlessly through space that it's almost as if nothing is making a difference to its momentum? Technology like what we just saw there is what is concerning at the end of the day, when we understand that there is a broader spectrum to be painted here when it comes to disclosure. You see, one of the most commonly asked questions in the realm of aliens is the fact that when and how did this unquestioned acceptance of the alien presence start? And this is a very detail oriented answer that's put forth out here, but it's something that is actually very efficient to read. So I'm going to go through this and just try and pay a little more attention, right? I'm going to read it so you don't have to. You see, this is everywhere. You see it in the UFO community, you see it in spiritual communities, you see it emerging in people all around you. Now, the briefing that is going to be put forth by various government organizations could either be towards disinformation or could actually be towards legitimacy. We still don't know. But what we understand here is that the intervention is not good for you. Yet many people say that, well, I don't know, it must be good. I mean, it can't be that bad. What if the aliens weren't real? Wouldn't that be remarkable for our species as a whole? Wouldn't that be remarkable for the civilization as a whole? And, well, in some way, shape or form, you're not wrong. It would mean remarkable technological leaps if we manage to garner said technology from them, if we manage to survive an ordeal or an exchange of some sort with them. What does that mean? Well, that is the bottom line. That's the golden question, if you will, now, isn't it? You see, this is a critical problem as a result of this pacification program. People can't see, even though it's right in people's face. You know, there was this absurd fact that I was reading about the other day, that every 8 seconds a new UFO sighting is reported. How legitimate is that? How legitimate is a UFO sighting every 6 seconds? Does it garner any real attention? Is it actual UFO sightings? Or is it just gibberish tossed into the mix? See, another very well-known phenomena that is completely affiliated with the whole UFO phenomena is the phenomena of crop circles. Some people swear by them, some people live and die by them, other people discredit them to the likes of, well, humans showing up in the middle of the night in crop and, well, doing what they can do to crop circles. So that's really simplicity at its best. And should that really make a difference? No, it shouldn't, because humans are doing what humans have done for a long time. That is basically spreading misinformation, creating a hoax, creating fear. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. But is it true? Yes, it is. Very much so. You see, crop circles are very weird. And what I mean by that is, they're crop circles that look like this, that well, don't really hold much in terms of their authenticity, because we all know that that's a fake one. But if we look at the broader spectrum of things when it comes to crop circles, we're going to be looking at something like this, which shows up more often than not, right? What is that? Does that make sense? Is that possible for someone to do it without alien technology in play? Yes, very much is. There have been videos out there about people garnering crop circles and then going back the next day to the farmer whose land they garnered the crop circle on, and then getting him to freak out. There's actual YouTube content that suggests that, so it wouldn't be the most standout thing in the world to imagine that. There's things like this, which is very much weirder to look at, but yeah, very much evident that it is most likely human beings involved. I mean, could it be humans? Could it not be humans? I don't understand the bigger picture of things. But then there's something like this, and you're like, yeah, if there has to be a human involvement, this is most definitely it. And that is most likely the equation, right? Every single one that you look at is more convincing than the one before it that this is human involvement. But then again, the sheer fact remains that these show up overnight. To do something as intricate as this without floodlights in the middle of the night in a field that has people living very near to it, and if you did do any of this, you would require some real heavy duty equipment that would make a ton of noise, and well, people would be aware of what you're doing by the end of it. But that never happens. These just pop up out of nowhere. No discrepancy, nothing. They pop up out of nowhere. Does that make sense? No, it does not. When you look at this one, you're like, yeah, most definitely that's fake, and most definitely it is. Maybe someone did actually do that, and how long do you think it took that person? And is the piece of land that this is done on, is the person who owns this piece of land aware of this is happening, or is this a chunk of land upwards of 200 acres, and that there is no way that the person who owns the land is ever going to be able to comprehend the sheer scale of his land itself? So leave alone someone just sneaking in for a few days, a week, figuring this out. It is very much evident and possible that that could be an ordeal, considering that there is an approach road right there. So not everything is true, but then again, it's fascinating when you look at things like this. These are crop circles, people. These are some things that people really live and die by. This is something that people will go out of their way to put their reputation on, and there's a reason why they do it. I don't understand why this is seen across the globe, various parts, not just one region, not just one particular component, not just one particular pattern. Various patterns seen across the globe, mostly in rice paddy fields. And something like this is, well, something that essentially is way more complex than what human beings can do overnight. Now, there is some footage out there of orbs levitating above fields and creating these patterns. That seems to be the only explanation that has garnered any attention, considering the fact that it holds way more ground than anything else. But at the end of it all, what we understand is the fact that if it is orbs that are creating these complex structures, who is controlling said orbs? Where are these orbs coming from? What do these orbs mean? Well, again, there are more questions than answers, but best believe that the year 2021 is going to bring about more disclosure than it is going to bring about you banging your head against the wall, because it's about time, people, that the research that we do, the questions that we ask, get the answers that you as a community, as a species, and we as an entity as a whole deserve. This has been Disclosure 101. We're going to be back with more episodes discussing this phenomena in intensive detail, covering a wide array of information, a wide array of videos, more images, more personal stories that people are willing to go out of their way to put forth. Maybe even some CIA incidences that are in place, as you guys can probably look in the tabs right there. There is a lot to this phenomena that we haven't even dived into yet. And we're going to keep this an episodic series, so make sure that you guys tune in for the entire series. It's going to be a part of the playlist. Head on over to the playlist section of this channel. Disclosure 101 already has a few videos on there. Take a look at those. We're going to turn this into a series in this format wherein I'm going to be physically here and garnering a bit of one-on-one attention with you guys, answering a few more questions. We might even take this live. We might even start doing these live on Twitch. So let's see how the response turns out. Until then, let me know what your opinion is on crop circles and how do you think these pertain in the grander scheme of things. Are they, well, way more different than what you can comprehend? Are they essentially signals home for these aliens, or are they hoaxes and you believe that this is something that you could put together in someone's backyard with the lawnmower overnight? Let me know which category you fall in, but until then, I will see you soon.